My guest tonight had already spent 10 years as a singer, songwriter, and dancer when she won her 1987 Grammy. Not a Grammy, really, was it? It was a Grammy for Best Newcomer for her debut solo album and hit single, Looking for a New Love. Her new album and hit single is Affection, which I bought because it's the only way I can get any. Please welcome, if you would, Jody Watley. Jody Watley, right here, as I live and breathe. And it looks like you brought some goodies.
I brought you some cookies.
What, did you actually bake these yourself?
Well,
now we're really, for just a second there, I was going to say thank you.
No, it's thank you. I'm a good baker. I love to cook.
Do you spend a lot of time in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Really?
Except on days like today when it's 200 degrees out.
Yeah. You didn't bake these for me, did you, Jody?
I was supposed to, but it was too hot. Sorry.
What I got, like Nestle Toll House or something like this? We got it from the producers, didn't we? Well, gee, thanks, guys. Let me just set these over here.
No, but I do love to cook.
Do you? Do you spend a lot of time? Assuming that, like, you were coming on, like, a really big show that wasn't on at this hour, and you were going to bake something for the host, what would you do? What's, like, your #1 thing that you cook up in the kitchen?
I have a lot of things. I do bake good cookies, cakes, cobblers, and I love to make bread, like yeast rolls and stuff like that. Anything that has butter in it, I usually cook that.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that strikes me as kind of odd, because I look at you and you're a beautiful woman, very sexy, very svelte, and yet you tell me you use butter. I don't believe it, Jody. I don't buy it one second. I don't think these people do either.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, really, major baking is mainly saved for the holidays, so Thanksgiving, Christmas, stuff like that. And, but I've been cooking since I was maybe 11.
Yeah. And when you're cooking, do you hear like a beeping going off every now and then? What is that coming from? Somebody brought their little quartz watch with them tonight, didn't they?
Is that what that is?
Well, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So, where exactly are you from originally?
Originally from Chicago.
From Chicago.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like the Missouri area originally.
I lived in Missouri. I've lived in Indiana, North Carolina, Texas, New York.
What part of Indiana?
Los Angeles.
Yeah. What part of Indiana?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis? You know Logansport? That's where I'm from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never been there.
That's where the state insane asylum is from.
Never been there.
When you were in Missouri, they tell me that you were, like, your great quest, even as a young girl, you were saying to yourself, I've got to get on the Soul Train. Yeah,
that's true. I wanted to be an entertainer since, I don't know, a young age, and Soul Train was really popular at that time, and when my parents were going to move to Los Angeles, that was my goal. I wanted to be on Soul Train and wear my colored socks and my platform shoes.
Sure.
I couldn't wait.
How high platforms did you get happening there?
Pretty high.
So Soul Train was the thing. Was Don Cornelius doing the show at this point? And how tough was it? I mean, is it like a relatively easy gig once you got it, or did they put you through the...
I kind of went through the ringer. The first time I went on, I was invited on as a guest. And after that, it was about a year of humiliation, going to Soul Train, getting asked to leave, going back. Sometimes I'd leave, you know, in tears. And
now, why would you, not that I don't do it every night here, but why would you leave the show in tears?
Well, the stage managers weren't really nice. They weren't...
We have that problem, too!
They were really horrible. They loud-talked you. I think their whole objective was to humiliate you so much that you never wanted to come back.
And were you a good dancer?
Yeah, I was a good dancer, but it took a while for me to get noticed. And eventually, I was asked to be a regular dancer on the show, but it's amazing what kids will go through. It was free. You didn't get paid for being on the show. It was a cold box of KFC and a cold soda. But
So, and it actually led to great things, right? I mean, after that, you went and you joined the group Shalimar, right?
Right. My regular partner and I, Jeffrey Daniel, and I had been asked to be in the original Shalimar, and So that was my beginning in
But that
in
wasn't
show
such a great
business.
experience either, right?
I had a horrible contract.
So you're 0 for 2 at this point in your career, right?
No, but I mean, it got better. At each step, it's like I learned something, and it made me more determined and wiser.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and then, but at some point you just upped, they tell me, and left and took off to Europe for some strange reason.
Yeah. The group didn't get along on top of other things, and when I left the group,
I always hear about this in the music industry, this like catfighting. Is it really competitive, or does everybody just hate everybody's guts for no particular reason?
Well, in our case, it was a combination of both. There had been 2 other guys before the last guy who got in the group, and they always resented Jeffrey and I because we were popular from the show. And they were more the lead singers, but we were the most popular, and they didn't like that. So that created a lot of tension
and what sorts of things would they do? Are they short-sheeting you at night, or are they...
At the end, the last guy that sang with us, he didn't want to ride in the car with us. Well, I have to have my own car. The guy before him wanted to make more money than Jeffrey and I because he was a little older. So it's like, well, why should we split the money 3 ways equally?
Right.
Stuff like that.
I think the question most Americans want to know is, you ever get any physical altercations with any of these people? Is it ever any down-and-out, drag-out cat fights, punching and screaming?
Yes.
Yes! That's the answer we were looking for at this hour.
Yes, and that can be verified. That's the truth.
Is that true? You actually got in a physical fight with another woman or a man?
Well, there were 2 guys and me. So it was me and one of the guys and me and one of the other guys, and the 2 guys almost coming to blows. One of the guys and some of the band members.
Let me
it was a fight fest.
Let me write some of these down. It's you, some of the guys, and their guys. And was it just a couple of jabs, or what? Give me a shot here. I just want to see what kind of punch we get from you here. Oh, geez, my God, ladies and gentlemen, take my word for it. It actually works.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. It's okay. And when you ended up staying in Europe, though, because you had such a miserable experience for how long? 2.5 years?
2.5 years. Initially, I was going to stay for 6 months, but I liked it so much, I stayed for almost 3 years.
Jolly old England, no less, yes?
Yes.
Yes. And how did you fit in there?
I didn't. No. No, it was great.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It was like starting over in a whole different environment, and it was a good experience for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great food there in England.
Yeah, great food. The Indian food is the great food.
Yeah, they actually do have good food, the Indian
that's
food,
the
right?
best Indian
But, of course, that's better in India
English,
than it is in England, I suppose. But what do I know, right? I'm yammering. We have to do a break. You going to do a little song for us tonight?
Yes,
Jody Watley is going to be playing for us here just moments from now, folks. We'll do this break and be right back.
Baby